Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a spoiler review. Finally got a chance to go and see Star Wars The Force Awakens with Jess. Wanted to give my thoughts. Yeah, so spoilers if you haven't seen the movie yet and you don't want to know anything about it. I may do kind of a non-spoiler version later for people that haven't seen it yet. But because I'm a little bit late to the party on this one, it's been out for a little bit, decided I would just do kind of a spoiler review for this one. So I wasn't 100% sure how I felt going into Star Wars The Force Awakens because the prequel trilogy was okay, but it wasn't amazing. You know, especially the first two. You know, there was a huge hype over the Phantom Menace when it was released, you know, many years ago, and people made this huge big deal about it. And then I went to see it, and I was a bit disappointed. The second one, Attack of the Clones, again, a little bit disappointed. The third one, Revenge of the Sith, I was pretty happy with it for the most part. I mean, you get to see some pretty cool stuff. You get to see Yoda fight Emperor Palpatine. You get to see, you know, the transformation into a Darth Vader from Anakin. So, you know, the recent Star Wars movies haven't, I'll just say this, they haven't been the best always. Some okay, some not, didn't care for too much. But the original trilogy is untouchable. It is regarded as one of the best trilogies in film of all time, and rightfully so. Probably the number one trilogy of all time. There's very few other franchises that can mess with Star Wars, the original. I mean, maybe Lord of the Rings, stuff like that. Some people really like Lord of the Rings, but The Hobbit wasn't great either. There's another prequel trilogy that should have just been one movie. But you can't touch the original Star Wars movies. For their time, they're some of the best movies ever. The trilogy is so solid all the way through. You know, many people even regard the second Empire Strikes Back, the second of the movies, which would be Episode 5, as the best Star Wars movie ever made. And for me, growing up, I always liked Return of the Jedi because it has so many cool moments in it, in the final climax at the end. And the original movie, A New Hope, is so awesome to begin with, too. I mean, the original trilogy is untouchable. So this one, okay, going into this one, I didn't want to get my hopes too high. I was thinking it wasn't going to be that good. I was thinking it was going to be, I had heard it was good, but I was like, I'm not so sure. So got to see the movie, and the feel of the movie, as you guys saw, for anyone who's seen it yet, anyone who's watching, again, I'm going to spoil a little bit, but if you don't care, then you don't care. It feels a lot like A New Hope. It feels very similar. I mean, the story has a lot of similarities between it. You have, instead of a Death Star, you have like this Death Star planet thing. You know, this Sun Eater thing that like absorbs the energy of the sun into this giant cannon built into the planet and just obliterates things, which was hardcore. We get to see Kylo Ren, who's a brand new, you know, character. I've never seen. I'm pretty sure he's created just for the new trilogy. I haven't heard of him in any of the comics or video games or anything of the sort that's been created for Star Wars over the years. So a new villain, played by Adam Driver, who I thought was good and has a lot of similarities to Vader. I guess he kind of worships Vader. He's got like his mass all crunched up, and you know, kind of as tribute to his grandfather, wants to be as strong as Vader, that kind of deal. And Rey calls him out on it. Love his performance as a villain. Really, really, really strong, scary, and agile. More agile than Vader was, even, you know, because of course after Anakin's destroyed, he's not that agile. But Kylo Ren, you know, you see him kind of getting down in the movie. Oh, it looks like a ninja. Ninja with a sweet lightsaber that has the ends on it. Like, why didn't they think of that before? It's so brilliant. Put the ends on it, make it into a proper sword, and this guy's awesome. And he even uses it too, because when he's going against Finn, he turns the side of it and it starts going into him. So awesome. Really, really like the villain. He's a lot like Vader, you know, except all whole and you know, really cool. And also, instead of like Vader does for Luke, Ren is too far gone. He's so far gone that now we get into major spoilers. I'll try to dance around this. He does some things that are pretty hardcore. I mean, he has a decision to make. Is he gonna go to the light? Is he gonna go to the dark? And you know, 100% there. It seems like, you know, maybe light, and then definitely dark. So love that scene. That was pretty incredible to see. You guys know I like you know, character deaths and that, so that was good. Definitely a big one if you're a fan of the original, you know, movies and everything, the original trilogy. So I was surprised by the amount of characters from the original trilogy they actually brought back, and they felt like they belonged there. Like they felt 100% just like you're watching the next movie after, episode 6. You're watching episode 7 now. There's a time skip, but it's still the same universe. And they did, in addition to having a lot of the characters come back from the original, the look of it, the universe looked the same. Like it looked like you were watching one of the older movies. I saw it in 3D, and I just loved it. They were able to recapture it like verbatim, except they had the new CG and they had the new stuff mixed in. But they also had it look the same with regards to, how they used to use the models and everything, and how they did that way back in the day, which sometimes boggles my mind how they were even able to do that with practical. But they, Abrams did. He used a lot of practical, and it just worked out great. You see, you have some CG mixed in, but a lot of it was so similar. It felt just like you were in the same universe, and because the plot was so similar to A New Hope, it felt like you were watching kind of the start off to a new great trilogy that's going to be something special in terms of film as well. However, I did hear that he's not going to be directing the other two, which is a damn shame, because I wish they could get him to do the others, because he did such a great job with this one, and I really liked how this one turned out. So you have a lot of the same plot as the first one, then you add in with the new characters, and you have the older cast kind of coming back. So as a Star Wars fan, I don't see how you could not be happy with this one. It was the only complaint I can see is if you think it's too similar to the original trilogy, to A New Hope, being the first of a new trilogy. But I don't think that makes sense, because people have been complaining for so many years that the prequels were not close enough. They didn't feel. They had a lot of CG dump everywhere, and they had a lot of jumping and flipping and all. It just they were quite a bit different. Even though Return of the Jedi had some of that too. Luke, he's got the green lightsaber, he's flipping. Yeah, okay, I got that. But it just felt a lot different in the prequels than it does in the original trilogy. And this one feels like it fits in the original trilogy, not the prequels, which I just loved the look of it, all the visuals, even the way space looked and everything. They recaptured it basically perfect. You even got the Millennium Falcon in there. You've got Chewie, and he's pretty awesome as always. So I just really liked it. The new characters, like I said, Kylo Ren kicks ass. He's a great bad guy. And it's true. Will he ever be able to live up to Vader, no matter how many movies they make or what they do with him? Vader is so iconic. He's rated as the #1 best villain in film ever, no matter what series you're talking. Pretty much every top 10 list I've seen on the web, everybody ranks Vader as #1. He's the best villain ever. So it's going to be hard for Kylo Ren. He wants to be there. Is he ever going to be there? And they kind of worked that into the story. I love that, man. That was so smart, because he wants to be, but is he going to be able to be? We'll see. We'll see how the rest of the trilogy ends up. Probably Vader's kind of untouchable, I think, as a villain. No matter what movies come out, how good they are, Vader is he's iconic. He's like Mickey Mouse, just the opposite. Maybe Mickey Mouse not the best. He's like a cultural icon. He's a cultural symbol, right? At this point, he's not just a character. So will Kylo Ren ever get there? Probably not. But he's gonna take a stab at it. A stab with a pointy sword that has the side guards, whatever those are called. Some weapons expert, correct me in the comments below. I'm sure somebody will. Okay, so Rey, our main character, played by Daisy Ridley. Great. So many parallels to Luke. It's crazy, and I was talking with Jess about this, how smart they were with the movie, that they chose characters, with the new characters, that are similar but different. Instead of having a leading male, you have a leading female. And you also have Finn, played by John Boyega, who's also good because, well, let's just say it, he's black, which is good. It's good. It's good to have some variety from kind of the old style where you'd always have things that way. It's good to have a strong black leading male, right? I think it is a good thing. Not trying to be racist, but that's what I think. It's a good thing that they're doing that. That's what I'm saying. Or sexist either. That you have a strong female lead, and you have a strong, I don't want to call him a sidekick, but he's kind of a sidekick. Sometimes he does some cheerleading. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That kind of stuff. So that's funny. But again, that has a retro feel to it as well, too, for me, because a lot of the older movies in that, you'd have a lot more cheerleading and stuff like that going on. So I really like their choices. I really, really like their choices for both their, Rey and for Finn. Really cool characters, lots of fun. You've got Oscar Isaac as Poe Dameron, who was decent. pretty good for the most part. They kind of have a thing where they make you think he's dead, and then he comes back, and then you realize he's not. So again, they're building up a new core that the new trilogy will be based on. They're building up a new section, which is good. And like I said, they're keeping it different, even in regards to sex, even in regards to nationality, from what it was in the older movies, which is great. Really, really good to add that diversity and make it unique to itself, so that it doesn't feel 100% like a remake or a reboot and doing the same story again, which is just brilliant. Which hopefully we don't see, but maybe eventually in our lifetime we will see an original Star Wars trilogy remake, even though I hope we don't. So yeah, in terms of the score for the movie, I would give this one probably a 9.2, I want to say. I mean, it's really solid. It's got everything that you would have liked from A New Hope, from your original trilogy, coming back with new characters added in, of course, at the forefront. Still coming back with a lot of the old ones as well, too, and lots of fun, mixing it all together, mixing it all up, creating that kind of unique, diverse universe that made Star Wars a fan favorite for so many years to begin with. Creating not just, a regular sci-fi movie, but creating a whole world, creating a whole universe that you can have all these different things. You've got, the war aspect. You've got some politics mixed in there. You've got your, especially in the prequels, you have a lot more politics. You've got great characterization, great characters. And then you also have kind of the family dynamics. You have bringing back to the old, passing the torch, so to speak, and, the close to home feeling. You have a universe of characters. How do you make it feel close? Well, you bring it into something everybody understands, which is a family, right? So that was really good. Liked how they handled everything. The writing was great. And I loved it. It was awesome, awesome movie. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I'm really glad I gave it a chance, went to see it. And most of you guys who said that it was great, you were right. It is great. And I can't wait to see the other two. I guess the next one's going to be 2017. So I can't wait to see it. It should be awesome. So let me know what you guys thought about the movie. What do you think of the new characters? What do you think about the direction they took and how similar it was to A New Hope? I liked how similar it was, but yet different. It has a feel I've never really felt before. It feels old, and yet it feels new at the same time. It's a really weird. I've got some cognitive dissonance with regards to how I view the movie in terms of age, because it looks old, but then it looks new. It's really, really cool. They did a great job. So really happy with it. Let me know what you guys thought about it. Write your comments below. If you liked this video, you can thumb it up below. If you want to help support the channel, you can share. You can share at the bottom left. You can favorite at the bottom left. And write your comments, subscribe if you're new. That's it for this video, guys. We'll see you again real soon for another. As always, it's Trev saying peace.